Yo, what's going on, guys? The Kitty G on EGTV, and we're back again with another video. Today, there is some big news, ladies and gentlemen. There has been an interview today, a decision-type interview. 1 second. A decision-type interview from William Saliba, and we're going to be getting into everything that he said in this interview. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. If you're not aware, we're going to also be getting into more details around Gabriel Jesus. Is Gabriel Jesus worth $200K a week? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Also, we're going to be talking about Serge Gnabry. There has been a big boost in Arsenal's hopes to sign Serge Gnabry. We're going to talk about that very soon. Scamacca, is it a real signing or is it just paper talk? We're going to get into that. And finally, there's a third Man City player Arsenal are after today. Arsenal are supposedly after a third Man City player. Who is that Man City player? We're going to get into it very soon. But don't forget to hit that like button. Help the brother out by hitting that like button and that subscribe button. And it always helps the brother out. But let's get the show started. You already know what it is. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you guys are doing. Tell me where you're watching from, people. Tell me where you're watching from. Are you watching from the UK? Are you watching from Africa? We have some people watching from the Caribbean. The other day, I seen we have people watching from Brazil. I was shocked. But guys, let me know where you're watching from in the world. If you're from Lagos, if you're from, Somalia, wherever you're from, let me know. But we got my guy Brandon with me. Brandon, how you doing? True Gunner TV.
I'm good, bro. I can't complain. I'm good. It's nice to have a chill, sit back. The season's done. We can have a little chill. Yeah, we're going to talk about some transfers and stuff, but you know, we can chill out now that Arsenal are not testing our patience every single week. And firstly, big up to you, bro. Thank you for getting me on as well. It's been a minute since me and you have done a video together. I've seen your growth on YouTube. Big up everybody in the comments as well. And look, respect, bro, respect.
There you go. Nothing but respect for Brendan. Big up Brendan, always coming on, always showing some love to me. But first things first, guys, if you haven't seen it, if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, William Saliba did an interview. William Saliba did an interview with Get French Football or whatever they're called. He did an interview with them. And what did he say in this interview? Let me tell you guys what he said. He said a lot of things. First of all, he said a lot, but let me just go from the top. So some of the big things some of the big talking points that came out of this interview were the first one that everyone wants to see. This is what he said. Let me just get it up on the screen. I belong to Arsenal, and I still have a 2-year contract, and I will be back with Arsenal. And I have played zero matches, and I still want to show them the true face and have a chance to play for those fans and this great club. It just goes to show you how much respect he has for the club. Let me just change the background so people can see, can get a better sense of what the interview looked like. Okay, there you go. That's the background right there. It looks like we're at a talk show. But then you have the situation where people are like, yo, what the hell is really going on? Like, why was he having this interview? People were worried. People were very upset that he was even having an interview in the first place. And I was never really that worried. I always knew that it was something across the lines about his future, something about what he views, where he's going to be in the coming years. So let me just show you guys some of the bits and pieces from this interview. This is one of the first talking points we have to discuss, though. What do you think about Saliba's statement? Because Saliba's statement was clear. He's going to be staying here. He's not going nowhere. He's going to be staying at the club. And if you can see what he said, 1 second, let me just make this bigger. If you can see what he said right there, I belong to Arsenal. I still have 2 years left, and I will be back at Arsenal. That is a man that is not leaving the club. That is somebody who's staying. So you know what? Put the clapping emojis in the chat. Put the celebration emojis in the chat. One of the most one of the most highly touted youngsters in world football is an Arsenal player, and he is sticking with the club. He's not going nowhere. He isn't sticking up a fuss and saying, I want to leave. I thought this was going to be a LeBron James part two, where somebody was going to say they wanted to leave the club, but it's very, very good news to hear. Also, just before you go, Brandon, and we hear your take on this, I'm just going to ask everyone in the chat, what do they think about these words from Saliba? If you haven't heard, I belong to Arsenal. William Saliba confirms that he will return to Arsenal and said he will play for the Arsenal fans, telling Telefoot on his future, I belong at Arsenal. I still have 2 years left and I will be back with Arsenal. He also said, I played 0 minutes. This is that, right? And the final thing that he said is this right here. This is the final thing that he said when asked about his time at Marseille. This is what he had to say about his time at Marseille. This is what he had to say about his time at Marseille. He said about his time at Marseille, I want to show the Arsenal fans what I've made of. Is my home, and I'm grateful for the opportunity they've given me, which is Olympic Marseille. If I stayed at least 2 years, it would be really special. Even if I don't come back to Marseille, I'll never forget and thank Olympic Marseille. I spent a great course in my career, and it was they boosted me. You know what? Basically, he's just saying he's just very thankful for the opportunity to play at Marseille, everything they've given him, and the fact that he's even played at Marseille and he's gotten so much better. So yeah, with that being said, guys, talk to me, people. Talk to me. Aren't you happy that Saliba is finally confirmed that he's going to be staying at Arsenal Football Club? And aren't you happy he's finally going to get a chance? At this point, I was worried. Last year, this time, Brandon, I was worried we weren't going to ever see him in an Arsenal kit. I was worried his Arteta and him and his relationship were fractured. The club were fractured. But it seems like this loan has helped him play more minutes, gain more respect from everybody else. He is the Ligue 1's young player this season. Players like Zidane, Henri, all these French legends have won that award. Even guys like Eden Hazard recently have won it. Kylian Mbappe. So he's in good company. But let me hear what you got to say, man. Let's get straight into it.
For me, lucky Arsenal. Lucky Arsenal. To bring a guy in for that amount of money and then send him out on loan for 2-3 years. You know, it doesn't do well for the guy's confidence, especially, you know, when, like you was just saying, in the summer when we let him go to Marseille on loan, it didn't look like he was ever going to come back. It didn't look like he was going to ever be seen wearing an Arsenal shirt, playing first team football for Arsenal. And it was a massive worry. And understandably so as well. It looked like the manager didn't really have the faith in him. He needed an arm put around him, in my opinion. He just lost his mum, and he needed that, you know, that leadership from the manager. And then the manager kind of pushed him aside. So for me, it's a case of lucky Arsenal, because, you know, this guy, he had a great season at Marseille, got Player of the Year, and he got him Champions League football as well. So he could quite easily have turned around to us and said, look, after the way you've treated me, nah, I ain't coming back. I'm staying at Marseille. I've got 2 more years left on my contract. If you don't want to sell me now, I'll wait it out. I'll sit here and I'll wait it out. It doesn't make no difference to me. So for me, we're very lucky that he's coming back. We're very lucky as well that it shows his mental attitude. It shows his mentality, that he's not given up. Although he's had 3 straight years of basically being told by Arsenal that you're not good enough to be here. You need to go out on loan and gain experience. Although he's had 3 major setbacks with the club, it hasn't phased him. He's come back. He's coming back with the mentality of, I'm going to prove you lot wrong. So again, that's good for me. It shows a bit of a winning mentality. It shows that his heart's in it. He wants to play for Arsenal. That's the big thing for me. He's a player that wants to be at the Arsenal Football Club. Otherwise, he could have just walked away. So that in itself shows good character, and I'm excited to see what he can do in the Premier League because look, let's not forget he's had a great season this season, but it is the French league. I'm interested to see how well he plays in the Premier League. I think a lot of Arsenal fans have got to calm down a little bit because yeah, he's had a great season, but Premier League football is completely different, completely different. So it's going to be interesting to see how he copes. But hopefully, fingers crossed, he can be that player that we all think he is, and hopefully the manager will have a bit more trust in him this season.
I think what Ben's saying here is spot on. William Saliba's interview and him staying at Arsenal, is literally a lesson to Arsenal, all the Arsenal fans. We've gotten worked up for nothing. He was always staying, and you know what? We were always just overly worried for no reason. Don't you agree?
Yes and no, yes and no, because again, you go back to the summer and the way in which he left the football club to go out on loan. It didn't look great for him. He didn't get an opportunity, not even in like the pre-season games or anything like that. It didn't look like Arteta really fancied the guy um, as an Arsenal player. He'd just lost his mum and then been thrown out to France. So, of course, as fans, we always had the right to be worried because the guy's just had an excellent season. He's got 2 years left on his contract. And he could quite easily have said, look, I've got Champions League football with Marseille. I want to stay here. But instead, the guy showed his mentality and he said, look, I want to play for Arsenal Football Club. You lot all, that all doubt me. I'm going to prove you wrong now. So I get what Ben's saying, 100%. I get what Ben's saying. Arsenal fans do need to kind of take a chill pill a little bit and not get so worked up. But what I would say as well is in recent history, we've tend to make the wrong decisions. So it's nice to see that we've actually made the right decision this time, in my opinion, in bringing the guy back.
What about the thing about Arteta? This is also another thing. We constantly said Arteta and him weren't getting along. Arteta and him didn't have a good relationship. I think this also comes back to that because there's so many times where we said Arteta doesn't like Saliba. But maybe this was just a plan all along, and we were just getting worked up for nothing. And this is another point that Ben made. I really like that. Don't hype him up, Iga. You know what? It's not about hyping him up, Ilyas. It's about the fact that he is being touted as one of the best young center backs in world football, and we already own him. Also, he's better than Kunde. He's better than friggin' all these other guys. He's up there with Kanate and everybody else. And he's 20 years old. He's already in the French setup. Like, come on, man. It's not about gassing him up. It's just you can see the talent is right there. It's visible. He's probably the most talented youngster we have at Arsenal. Let's be honest. Anyways, go ahead. What were you going to say? About
Yeah,
the hype.
no. Go on.
Do you agree with the thing? Don't hype him up too much?
I would say, yeah, I would say don't hype him up too much. Obviously, there's reasons to be excited, like you just said. He's in the French setup. He's young. He's talented. He's proven that. He's just won Player of the Year in France. And that don't come lightly. After you got to remember, this guy lost his mum in the summer, and he's just gone on and won Premier League and Player of the Year. That can't be taken lightly. So it's exciting. He's talented. He's young. He looks good. But Premier League football is completely different to French League football. So we don't want to get caught up in this hype, because all the hype also adds pressure and expectations to the young man's shoulders. This is where we've got to be careful because we've got to remember as well, like I just said, he's a young man. And I think a lot of where we went wrong last season and why we didn't get top four is because there was too much weight and expectations on the young players' shoulders. We don't want that for William Saliba either. We don't want to over expect to what he's going to do and then not fulfill his potential. What we want is we want him to come in, we want him to just play his game and prove to us that, he can be one of the top defenders in the Premier League as well as in France. So I would say, let's see him play a good run of games for Arsenal first, and then we can judge him properly. But right now, he's an exciting prospect, but that is literally all he is at the moment.
You know what? I think he's more than just an exciting prospect. I think that's a little bit underselling him. What he's already accomplished in France as being one of the best young players in France in a league that is touted for having young quality talent. It is impressive that he's been able to do that. Also, the fact that William Saliba is already in the French setup, we cannot ignore that factor. I think if he wasn't an Arsenal player, we'd be talking about somebody who's worth up to 70 million if he was to be sold this summer. And I think every single top club in Europe would be after him. But yeah, let's not overdo the whole Saliba thing. Let's just get back to some of the things that he said. He thanks the fans at Marseille. He's had a successful loan at Marseille. He's probably had the most minutes. He's had the most minutes played for a 21-year-old this season. Is it safe to say that Saliba comes back a much better player this season, and he's better off for this loan? Now that we look at it, going back to Ben's first point, the loan has now been the most successful loan in Arsenal's history, in my opinion. I can't name a player who's been more successful on loan than him.
Oh no, definitely the loan was definitely successful. You can't sit there and say otherwise, because at the end of the day, what we've got to remember as well, although he was sent out on loan 2 seasons beforehand as well, one by Arteta and one by Unai Emery. Them 2 loan spells that he went out, he also went back to France, but he also picked up some major injuries, so he wasn't able to play as many games as what Arsenal would have liked him to play. So the fact that he's got a full season under his belt at Marseille as well, which is one of the top French teams, they've been up there fighting for Champions League spots as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like it can only be good. It can only be good, and hopefully he can implement some of that at Arsenal, and it'll be interesting to see.
Let me just go through some of these tweets, because I know you guys are going to be trolling in the chat. Big up to all the people in the chat. We even got Spurs fans in the chat. I can see you, Terry talk Spurs. Big up to you. When it comes to Saliba, of course we're going to hype up our players, guys. Come on, everyone hypes up their players. That's just how it is. But I think Saliba is one player that deserves the hype, and if he was to leave Arsenal, Terence Tibbs, you would be one of the first people gassing him up as a Spurs fan. You would be saying, "Oh my God, how did you let this guy go? He's amazing. I knew he was better than Arsenal. This is that." You would be saying that. But let's just pull up some of the stats for Saliba, just to show you guys some of the stats. He's had the most passes in Liga. He has the most possessions won by a center back in Liga. Forget about in center backs. He has the most in the league. Guys, look at this. Most possession won in the league, most progressive carries in the league, most successful dribbles by a center back in the league. He's won the Young Player of the Season award. He has the most passes in the league. And this is a guy who's playing for Marseille, not PSG. Like, he's had an amazing season. Also, this is what he said. If you guys haven't already heard, this is what he said. When he spoke to Thing, I belong to Arsenal and I still have 2 years left. I will be back. Confirmed. He also he's a homegrown French international, guys. He's going to be integrated into the Arsenal squad, and you should be very excited. Saliba, William Saliba, then football isn't for you. If you're not excited about William Saliba, football isn't for you. That is a fact. Big up to my guy, Connor. He was on the show yesterday, if you guys haven't already seen his interview. He spoke about making the World Cup squad. Yes, of course, when you're in the French team, you want to be there. It's a goal. There you go. He also, if you guys don't already know, this is a picture of him winning that award. This award is beautiful, by the way. And he fully announced that he will be returning back to Arsenal this summer. I can't do that. I can't show you that. Can't show you that. Okay, this is the statistics. So most successful passes in Ligue 1 and most accurate passes also. He's up there with the most accurate passes and I think he has the most passes also. So this is a very, very, very like this is crazy stat, man. Look at some of the players he's up there with. You got Marco Verratti, you got Thiago Silva, Marquinhos. Like, come on, this is impressive. This is impressive. I think this is very impressive. I think we are not understating how good he is. Uh, Side to side, Igal, relax. What am I saying? What am I saying? Yo, we got H with us. Yo, H, welcome. Brandon, if you don't know H, he's one of the guys on socials. One of the guys on socials that we have in spaces. You've probably spoken to him before, also. H, how you doing, bro?
How you doing, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. So just to let you know, we've gone through a lot of the stuff covered on Saliba. So just give me your
Yeah.
thoughts on Saliba right now.
Now it's good news that he's coming back to the club. I mean, he could have easily done that interview and basically just said, we will see what happens, like he did throughout the whole year, and that would have still put us in that limbo situation where we don't know whether he's coming back or not. So it's good that I'm guessing Arteta had that conversation with him, told him that he wants him back for pre-season, and Saliba has, said it himself that he will, he's contracted to Arsenal Football Club and he wants to show his true worth. But there was a few things in between the lines that he did say, which was the fact that he didn't want to leave Marseille like he's doing currently, and the fact that he didn't play any games. So I don't know how Arteta will take that sort of information in, but listen, I'm happy he's back. He's a top centre back. He's a top talent, and it's going to be a healthy competition. I know Arteta will probably play that rotation between Ben White, Gabriel, and Saliba,
I was going
potentially.
to talk about that.
Yeah, but yeah, that it's good news.
I was going to talk about Gabriel, Ben White, and Saliba, but before I do that, there's this comment here. Kunde. I don't want to compare him to Kunde, but the thing is, he's more highly rated than Kunde in the French setup. Am I wrong, guys? Like Eric Baker, big up for the super chat. I love Saliba, but you can't compare him to Kunde. Do you mean in a good way or in a bad way? Please explain, because I don't know if you're saying this in a good way or if you're saying this in a bad way. But let me know what you're saying, because I don't get it. Saliba ain't better than Ben White. Stop hyping him. This is where the next point we have to talk about, because as a fan base, we always do this. Why are we always comparing Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel? Like, I know you've done it H right now. I know Brandon, you've done it numerous times. Is this not a negative, or is this a good thing that we have three center backs that we can compare to each other? I'm gonna let you go first, Brandon.
I mean, why shouldn't we compare them? At the end of the day, we've got to figure out. Well, I say we've got to figure out. Arteta's got to figure out the best pairing, or could he possibly go to a back three, and play all three? I don't know. This is going to be the interesting thing to see. But for me, I mean, it might be first season syndrome, and the fact that Gabriel and Ben White have only played together this season, so they're still learning as a partnership. I just can't grasp why Arsenal spent £50 million on Ben White. Do you know what I mean? Like, I look at the guy, I've watched him this season. He can't defend. He's very good at playing out from the back, which is clearly what Arsenal brought him for, to gain that little sort of control while we're playing out from the back. And he's good at that sort of thing. But as a defender, your number one attribute should be to be able to defend. And for me, I don't know, it just hasn't been as good a season for him as what I was hoping he was going to have. So kind of, I look at the situation, and this is why I'm very cautious about the whole Saliba thing as well, because, there's high expectations on the young man's shoulders, but I don't want him to come in with these high expectations and Arsenal fans to expect him to come in and just, turn our defence into a world-beaten defence. And then end up having a very average season. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, well, yeah, it's good to have 3 decent centre backs, is what I would say. They're decent centre backs, and it gives the manager a headache when he's picking his side, which is good. Competition for places is what you need at a big club like Arsenal. So that should also add to it as well. But it also, like I said, it adds something to us.
Let me just stop you there for a second. Ben, if you want to jump on, the link is in the chat. H, what about you? What do you think about the comparison between Saliba, Ben White, and Gabriel? Because in my opinion, I don't want to pin them against each other to the point where it's like this one's better than that one, this one's shit. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say we have 3 really good center backs. Whichever 2 can play together the best, make the best partnership, and benefit us the most is the 2 that I want in the team. But yeah, what are you saying?
No, 100%. I agree. I think we need to stay away from comparing the 3, if you know what I mean. I think we need start of next season, I think White and Gabriel should start, and then Saliba should be integrated slowly. But yeah, I think on the positive side of things, Arteta will have that benefit of rotating depending on the opposition. Rare occasion of playing all 3. That's not me talking about a back 5 competition this brings, and the hunger will be compelling. And I think we should talk more about the fact that Pablo Mari would be surplus to requirements right now, rather than comparing who's the better between Saliba, Gabriel, and White.
That's facts. That's facts. And hopefully we can see Rob Holding leaving also. Guys, let me know who your center back pairing will be next season when fully available. In my opinion, I do think William Saliba will force his way in there. At this point, it's who's going to be taken out between Gabriel and Ben White, in my opinion. And for me, it's too early to say. We're going to have to see how they work together. Obviously, you can have your preferences, but I think it's too early to say. Let's just go to Ben quickly. Ben, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Sorry, got some motorbikes going past me at that time. Sorry. Yeah, listen, my pairing for next season's Ben White and Gabriel. Saliba obviously is supposed to be this brilliant prospect, but prospects are still only prospect at the moment. He's done it in French League. He's done well. Arsenal have always held all the cards for Saliba. I think people have been kicking off way too much. We've held the cards all the time. Even if he didn't come back, we'd have been able to sell him for a profit. And, you can say what you want. That's what Chelsea have been doing, and that's what Chelsea have been very successful at. Hopefully he comes back and he challenges Ben White and Gabriel and obviously Tommy for that spot. Ben White this season, I think anyone who tells me that he's not been a good defender, I think you need to take your TV off pause, because I think he's been good. I think he's had a lot of pressure coming into this team. The amount of pressure, the amount of stick he had to come into this team and perform the way he has. I know towards the end of the season we let in more goals than we should, but that's because we didn't have us proper CDM, and we didn't have us fullbacks. You have them in the team, and nobody would have been talking about his defending. He's a lot better with his head than people make him out to be. His ball playing's very good. And I think he reads the game, and I think he will get better. And I'm looking forward to seeing the fight that William Saliba and him and Gabriel have for that spot. And I think it's brilliant that we've got so much depth. That is what makes Man City so good. Is they can take out one player and then put another player in, and you're not going you're not really losing anything. It's brilliant. I think we're looking very excited. I'm excited to see the back 4 at the moment. And then you've got Tommy Asso as well, who can play in that position. And then, you've even got, I know we probably need to upgrade on him, but then you've got Rob Holding. I tell you, a few seasons ago when we got Mustafi, Socrates, and all that. I mean, I tell you what, we're spoiled for centre backs now. I think it's looking good.
True. Tommy, what are you saying? And bro, could you come on camera, or is that not possible today?
Not today, man.
All right, what are you saying?
I'm okay, man. You?
I'm doing well. People like you, Ben. They're saying you talk sense. Bro, are you saying I talk shit? I'm joking. Anyways, go ahead, Tommy. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm happy Saliba is back because for me, we shouldn't have loaned him like 3 times. I think is really ridiculous. But yeah, I want to see him next to Gabriel next season for me, man. I feel like this manager hasn't really given him a chance, and it's annoying me because I told you this manager can't manage egos. I told you a lot about this manager, but yeah, I actually want to see him next season next to Gabriel.
You criticise him about loaning him out. Sorry,
Ben White.
you criticise about loaning him out, the manager. But how do you think the fans would have reacted if he'd have done crap? To start off with,
No, he wouldn't have done
the way
that.
our fans are, I think
Bro,
he'd have been on his back straight away, and he's just lost his mum.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Our fans wouldn't have given him wouldn't have given him any time to improve.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him when he lost his mum. Like, obviously, he's going through a lot with losing his mum and that, which is not good. Yeah, but we bought it. Emery bought him. Emery wanted him to play. When we started, Emery wanted him to play. We bought him. We can't just waste his time.
Emery left our club in 11th place, so I'm not taking his opinion on what players should be playing at all. You know.
Ooh. Yo, 1 second. Let's just go to PK and then we're gonna move off the Saliba thing because there's a lot of other things we need to discuss. But yeah,
That's
PK,
fine.
what are you saying?
What's everyone saying, man? You look good, yeah? I've been listening.
Man.
Chat to me.
Oh, good, man. Yeah, I'm excited about Saliba, to be honest. I'm looking forward to it. I think the loan was actually a good move because our fan base is toxic. If you made a mistake, we'll be on to him. So right now, he's at a good age, just 10-21. It's good. It's good to have a good competition, to be honest. I can't even make my mind up whether Saliba or White or Saliba Gabriel. We'll see. I'm happy with even three at the back. I'm calm with it. Three at the back will be good as well when our fullbacks keep getting injured. So that's what I'm saying.
Yo, somebody's got a question for Tommy. Tommy, why does he take White's space? And please explain to us the reason. Don't just say Ben White's shit.
No, I just feel like for me, he's just clumsy on the ball. He's so clumsy. I just don't think Ben White.
Wait. Who's clumsy on the ball?
Ben White. I think he's not that good.
Okay.
Sorry, I think he's clumsy for me. I just think he's not that good, bruv. And we shouldn't have bought him in the first place anyway. I'm sorry, bro. I just don't rate this guy. I'm taking Saliba over him.
Okay, I think your point is invalid because even Brendan, who's not a big fan of Ben White, will tell you Brendan's one of his best assets is on the ball. Don't you agree?
Not just that. We haven't seen Saliba play in the Premier League yet, so we can't sit here and say that we'd take Saliba over Ben White until we've seen him play in the Premier League. So I don't rate Ben White either. You know, I think for the price that we paid for him, you know, I think for the price that we paid for him, you know what I mean? I'll reserve judgment on him. But at the moment, for me, you have to, and you're going to see it with Arteta as well. He will stick with Ben White and Gabriel, and it'll be up to Saliba to force himself into the side. So
I think next season he can anyway. I think he can force himself into the team.
Just before you go, H, what do you think about this?
Next season, I'm going on the bench next season for the whole season.
What do you think about Ben White and Gabriel and Saliba talk between the three of them? Just before we move on. H.
No, I think they have the, in terms of centre backs, they have their qualities. I think, as you said, Ben White, his quality is definitely on the ball more than Saliba. But there has been occasions where Gabriel has shown that he's capable of, you know, giving that pass in behind or that switch to Martinelli or Saka. So they all have their qualities. You got Saliba, who's more physical as well, similar profile to Gabriel. I believe he's in the middle between the two. But we'll see how they complement each other come next season. So I think we need to take this as a positive and see how we can improve defensively.
Okay, just to
Can
let
I say something?
1 second, just to let everybody know, we're going to switch it out now to the next topic. The next topic is Serge Gnabry, and I really want to get onto this. So we've spent over half an hour on Saliba, so please let me just change the topic. And just to let everybody know, Serge Gnabry news is that Arsenal have received a big boost from Real Madrid. Arsenal have received a massive boost from Real Madrid about this deal. And let me just show you guys what it says. Real Madrid are not interested. Let me repeat again. Marca, which is a Real Madrid thing, a Real Madrid propaganda site, are saying they are not interested in Serge Gnabry. Now, this could be PR to try to make sure, or it could be actually real, and it could mean that Arsenal would have a free hit to go and sign the player, we would have no competition to go sign Serge Gnabry. And a lot of us here would want Serge Gnabry at the Emirates. Personally, I think Serge Gnabry is an amazing opportunity to get a world-class level player in the team. Or you know what? Let's not even say he's world-class. Let's just say a top quality player in the team he would cost a lot of money, but it would be a statement signing, and it would definitely benefit us in the short and long term if we were to get Gnabry in. Arsenal should sign Gnabry. He's available for £40 million, 40 million euros, around 35 million pounds. I think it's a no-brainer in my opinion. But the problem is we don't have Champions League football. I think if we did have Champions League football, it'd be a lot easier to sign him. Even without Champions League football, we should still be trying to get him. But you know what? I don't think the club prioritize him as an option. And at this moment in time, I think it's more fan-led than it is actually led by the club. And after speaking to Connor yesterday, he even told me he feels like it's a pipe dream to get the player. So I don't know what to tell you guys, but let me know what you guys think. I'm going to start with you, Brendan.
Yeah, for me, we should be at the table for Serge Gnabry. You're not going to get a better opportunity to sign a player of his quality for as little money as that. Player who's already been at Arsenal as well, knows the club well, knows the Premier League. He's got unfinished business at Arsenal as well. So although we can't offer him Champions League football, we could always toss him a little bit more money, not massive amounts of money, but a little bit more money to sort of allow for us not having Champions League football, basically. And not only that, he can give competition to Saka. This is the thing for me, like Bukayo Saka, and I agree with I can't remember the guy's name who you had on the channel the other day about Saka being one of the reasons why we didn't get top 4. I agree with that because Bukayo Saka last season was very good.
Let's not get into this, bro.
Hang on. Bukayo Saka was very good for us, right? The problem with Bukayo Saka last season is he was so overplayed and overused because we didn't have Arteta didn't have the trust in Pepe to bring him in to give Saka the rest that he needs. I think if you get a player like Gnabry, not only will Saka be able to have the rest that he needs to keep him constantly playing at the top of his game, but he'll also offer him that competition as well. For the price that we'd pay for him, it'd be an absolute steal. I cannot see for the life of me why Arsenal wouldn't be at the table for this player. Why are we not at the table for this player? Why? Why?
At this moment in time, let me go to H. What are you saying? Because I know you've been following these stories. Do you believe this could actually happen? And if I'm not mistaken, he said something across the lines. He wants to go somewhere where he's loved and he doesn't care about the money.
No, I think it's more probably Twitter hype more than anything like concrete when it comes to Arsenal and Gnabry. The other day, I think was it Germany against Italy, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where Arsene Wenger was asked about Gnabry, and he basically said that he believes the rumors are not concrete, but he said that it would make sense for Arsenal to go back in for a player of his quality, and I think he's 26, 27, isn't he?
Yeah,
26.
About 26, yeah, about to hit his peak as well. So, listen, the guy shows his love for Arsenal every time. Even being at a big club like Bayern Munich, still thinks about Arsenal. So you can tell this guy was a big Arsenal fan as a kid. Sometimes I think fulfilling your dreams comes before anything else. So I think even with Europa, I honestly believe we can lure Gnabry back to the Emirates Stadium. So let's see what happens. Window opens next week, and we go on from there, I guess.
Boom. Let's go to PK next. PK, what are you saying about Gnabry? Do you believe it's going to happen, or do you think it's just paper talk?
Listen, I would love to, innit? Like, I would love to. Hopefully, it happens, innit? So yeah, but this is for a big club. This is how we're supposed to sign. This is a big opportunity for Gnabry. She signed these kind of players, this quality kind of players that will elevate us. World class winger or top class winger, whatever you want to say. He led Bayern Munich to the Champions League. He was their best player on the Champions League round when they won it. So he can finish. He can dribble. There's nothing that he can't do, to be honest, literally. And he's always begging, like with Arsenal as well. Not begging, but he still appreciates, even though he didn't really get his chance at Arsenal like that, he still appreciates it. And Like he moves like he was one of us. He was one of our legends or something. Like the way he's always dropping hints on there. But we should have all over him. Like he should be cheap. It should be about 40 million or 50 million, even 60 million. Something. Just pay whatever you have to pay. Get him. No brainer, man. No brainer for me.
Yo, I just want to tell everyone, do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button. It's absolutely free just to show you guys what it looks like. This is the like button. We currently have 40 likes. Just click that like button. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. Just hit that like button just like that. And there you go. Look, every time, let's just practice. Double click it. It might work. Oh, you see? Look. Oh, it's going up. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, shit. It's going up. You guys are doing good. Big up to you. Big up to you guys. Anyways, we got 170 people in the chat. Don't forget to smash that like button. Let me know, do you think Gnabry is fake news or real news? Let me know. Because in my opinion, Tommy, I want to come to you now. But before I do that, shout out to the people in the chat watching from Uganda, watching from Somalia. Big up to you watching all the way from Somalia, man. Big up to you watching all the way from Uganda. He wants a statue like Henri. Big up Gnabry. What are you saying, Tommy? Just because we're gonna end it off with Ben. But Tommy, what are you saying? Gnabry.
Yes, I actually want him back, bro. I feel like I was gutted when we sold him in 2016. I actually didn't want him to go. I actually wanted Wenger to give him a chance. This was Wenger was stupid to get rid of him, but yeah, I want him back. He's got pace, he's got power, he's strong, he can dribble, he scores goals, and we need another winger anyway. We do need another winger. I feel like Saka needs to get. I think he needs to challenge Saka. And obviously, since this manager doesn't rate Pepe, he might as well just sell Pepe because this manager is stupid enough not to play him as well.
Tommy, why do you do this, bro? Every time.
I'm just saying.
Keep it on the topic.
I am, bro. Let me say my thing, bro.
No, but somehow it doesn't matter what we talk about. We could talk about friggin' something that has nothing to do with Arsenal. You'll somehow bring it back to Arteta.
Sorry, man. But bro, I have to say, I say it how it is, bro. That's just me, man.
Okay, whatever. No,
shut up and let me say my thing, man. But yeah, like I said, I want Gnabry. Like I said, we need him back because we do need another winger. Like we've struggled for goals from the wingers. We do need that. We need more goals from the wing as well, which is it's not good enough for me. And yeah, goals. I want him back. He's a baller. I think we can get him, even though we in the Europa League. I think we can re-sign him without Europa League. We did it with Pepe and Aubameyang. We signed them without Champions League football. I think we can do it. We can do it again by re-signing him. And he's welcome back to the Emirates. Like I want him back. So yeah, it'd be good to resign him. And it'll be like he loves Arsenal. Like he loves Arsenal a lot. So bring him back.
Okay, there you go. Some people are backing you. Some people are saying Arteta out. Some people are saying they don't trust Arteta. Some people are saying you talk crap. But hey, people are not going to agree with opinions.
Yeah,
Ben,
well, I want a top manager, man. Come on.
Ben, what do you say?
Well, we've got a top manager at the moment. We've got Arteta.
The rookie, man.
I love it. I love Ben. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
If he comes back, I'll be happy. But I don't think we're going to get him. And do you know what? I'm not bothered. Because all I'm going to say is Werner and was world class before he come to Chelsea. And you've got Havertz, who was world class. He's not done it as well as he has. All I'm saying is he's world class in the Bundesliga and with a team that is around him. And if he comes to Arsenal, I hope he does well. But I won't be upset if he don't come because I'm not 100% sure if he'd make it in the Premier League like some of the others. I want Sarr off from Watford. That's who I'd like because I know he can do it in the Premier League. If Gnabry comes, I don't think he is. I think he goes to Liverpool, or I actually think he's going to re-sign for Bayern Munich. I think it's all just agent talk.
Hold on.
But I'm not. If he comes, but.
You want Ismail Sarr over?
I would love him at Arsenal. I'd love him at Arsenal. I think he'd be brilliant for me. I think he's proved it, and he's done well in a rubbish Watford side. And you know, there's another winger that did it in a Southampton side, and look at what he did at Liverpool, Mane. And I think he's got Mane vibes. I'm not saying he's as good as him, but that's who I'd go for. But if Gnabry comes, you know, I hope he does. But there is a reason why he didn't. You know, there could be a reason why he didn't make it at Arsenal for the first time. And maybe that same reason's still there. Some players just are not suited for the Premier League, and maybe he wasn't suited. And he didn't just hit it straight away when he went to Germany. He went to Wolfsburg, and Bayern Munich took a gamble on him. If he comes back, honestly, I think it'd be brilliant. I think as an actual financial sense, it makes a lot of sense because as a commercial asset for Arsenal, it'd be brilliant. How many shirts would they sell if they sold Gnabry? So it is a smart move to go for, but I don't think
let me just stop everybody there. I'm going to move on the topic. Big up everybody for Gnabry. Everyone's pretty much saying thumbs up if it's possible, but it's unlikely. Then I'm going to start with the next topic. Guys, this here is interesting, and I really do think you guys should check this out. Look at this. It looks like Arsenal are ready to double Gabriel Jesus' wages and give him 200K per week. My question to everybody is, do you believe he is worth the 200K per week? Think about it this way. We were already giving Lacazette around 200K and he wasn't scoring many goals at all. We were giving guys like Kolasinac 125K. We're giving a bunch of these guys a lot of wages. And it's just like, you know what? If he is going to be given an opportunity to get 200K per week, you know, I think it might be worth it in my opinion, but I'm going to ask you guys what you think. It says here that Gabriel Jesus, Arsenal are ready to offer him 200K per week if he was to join Arsenal in order to help pursue him and get him to join Arsenal. Because we know with the fact that we are not going to have Champions League football, it's going to take a little bit of a push to get him over the line. So yeah, guys, my question to you is he worth 200K per week? Or no, not that is he worth 200K per week. Would you understand Arsenal giving him 200K per week? I'll start with H. H, what are you saying?
No, 100%. I think it purely comes from the fact that recently there's been interest from Juve as well in the player. So far it's been agent talks. The window opens next week. 200K, I think, sounds just about right. Again, as I said, I think I put out a tweet last week saying that, you know, if we do give the number 9 shirt to Jesus instead of a marquee signing, it might be very similar to the numbers Lacazette was hitting, if that makes sense. Jesus will probably get more assists. I think he's more well-rounded. I think he can play across the front three. He can do the rotation. He can do everything. But he's not going to be that striker that will score 40, 50 goals. I hope I'm proven wrong, but it doesn't seem like it. If you're not doing it at City, who create many chances. I know he hasn't had the chance to be playing in that position long enough, but he himself said it that he prefers to play on the wing rather than in that centre forward position. So listen, 200K, I think if that's what the player wants and if Arteta wants him, listen, let's pay the wages and let's get him to the carpet.
Boom. Just to let people know, we have 190 people in the chat right now. Let me know, is Gabriel Jesus worth 200 million? And also hit that like button. We only have 64 likes right now. Let's go to you, Tommy. So actually, 1 second. Let's just go to Brandon quickly. Brandon, what are you saying?
For me, this is where it becomes difficult because I like Gabriel Jesus. He's a good player. I like the fact as well that he's played at Manchester City. He's worked with Arteta before. He knows exactly how Arteta would want him to play because we play in a similar way. My biggest problem with this is he's not prolific. He's not a prolific striker. I don't care what anybody says. They can sit there and say he hasn't had opportunities at Manchester City. Go and check the stats. He's played similar amounts of games in the Premier League every season that he's been there as to what Lacazette has played at Arsenal, and their goal scoring and assists record is very, very similar. So for me, this is where it becomes difficult because I see it with Arsenal when we signed Lacazette. I see it with Arsenal when we even signed Aubameyang. The lack of Champions League football is going to become a major problem. We're talking about doubling this guy's wages. Now, this is where it becomes a problem because if you're doubling somebody's wages, then you have to question whether they're joining the football club for the right reasons. Is it because they actually want to come to Arsenal Football Club, or is it because we can offer them more money? We don't want to get ourselves into a situation where we're paying a player a hell of a lot of money and getting very little out of them. A bit like what we had with Lacazette. So for me, this is where it becomes a bit of a toss-up. Do we get Gabriel Jesus? I think he's a good player. But to pay that sort of money to him, I question whether he's coming to Arsenal for the right reasons, whether it's just for the money. I also think to myself as well, at the end of the day, we're big Arsenal Football Club. And we should be saying to him, look, we can offer you this. This is what we can offer you. We can offer you an extra 20, 30 grand per week to what you earn at Manchester City. That 20, 30 grand per week is to cover for the fact that we don't have Champions League
Are
football.
you suggesting we shouldn't get him?
Hang on. But what we can offer you is we can offer you regular first team football. You will be our main man. What I'm merely suggesting, Miguel, is I would take him, 100% I would take him. But I've got to question whether he's coming to Arsenal for the right reasons. And for me, it's down to the football club. Hang on. It's down to the football club for me, because even if we had Lacazette and Aubameyang still at Arsenal, they would be hitting their early 30s now. So they're coming towards the end of their career. We should have had this striker situation sorted out 2-3 years ago, so that we had ready-made replacements coming in. We shouldn't be relying on the fact that a Gabriel Jesus, who's got 1 year left on his contract, we're now going to get absolutely fleeced by Manchester City for 50 million quid for a player that's got 1 year on his contract, have to pay him 200 grand a week to convince him to come and sign for Arsenal. And he's not even a prolific striker. So for me, I'd take him, but I do think we need another striker to come in alongside him as well.
Okay. Just to press Brandon quickly. So you would take him. You're just worried about his intentions. You do understand his intentions are to play football and to be a starter week in, week out, which he would
But
be
if
at
that's
Arsenal.
the case, then you could get away with offering him maybe 30, 40 grand extra to what he's already earning at Manchester City to cover for the fact that we don't have Champions League football. Why have we got to double his wages? This is where
you have to.
You know what I mean?
You have to entice players when you're in a situation of
Yeah.
Don't have
I'm not saying you don't have to entice him. Of course, you have to entice him. Offer him the extra money, but to double his wages is ludicrous to me. That tells me that he's coming to Arsenal for the money, not to be the main man. Do you know what I mean? We can already offer him that. We can already offer him the main man status, and we can offer him a little bit of extra money to allow for the fact that we don't have Champions League football. For him to turn around, or for us to turn around and say, look, we're going to double your wages, we're going to pay you £200,000 per week. We made that mistake with Lacazette. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
We made that mistake with Mesut Ozil.
1 second. Let me just stop you right there. H, just say what you wanted to say instead of writing in the chat. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say you have to entice the player somehow, and wages will be part of the deal. Why would you want to come from City to Arsenal? Just look, you have to guarantee the player that he's going to be playing a lot more. You have to increase his wages. Partey, I believe, is on roughly around that money, 200k. It's not. Listen, if we want to get back to where we want to get back to in terms of being that club that challenges for the Premier League, unfortunately, we have to pay big bucks, and 200k is just part of it. I don't see it as a massive issue, to be honest.
This point right here, I like it. May I ask the question, why do we care so much about the players' wages? We reduce them for a reason, so we'll be able to do this and get players that we want and pay them the wages, basically. So
yeah,
I'm just saying. And to the person who said I didn't understand Brendan's point, I understood Brendan's point. I just wanted to press him on the question to get what I wanted to the right answers out.
Can I just answer this question here, right? May I ask why we care so much about the wages, right? I don't give a toss what Arsenal pay players, right? I couldn't care less. It's not my money. I'm not an accountant. I don't care, right? All I want is what's best for Arsenal Football Club. All I'm merely suggesting is if we're paying a player who can't even get into, let's be honest, he can't get in a Manchester City side. It's a difficult side to get into, but even without Sergio Aguero, Gabriel Jesus didn't turn into the Manchester City's main man. They played the majority of the season last season without a striker. So that tells you something, that he's not of the top level. You know what I mean? He's good enough for what we want, which is Champions League football. But he's not of the top level. What I'm merely suggesting is if you pay a player stupid amounts of money, which is basically double his wages, what he's earning at Manchester City now, then is he coming to Arsenal for the right reasons? Is he coming to Arsenal because he wants to be at Arsenal, because he wants to be a main man? Or is it merely because we can offer him more money than any other football club would do? This is where you get into a situation where money becomes more important than ambition. Does that make sense?
I hear that. Even though I disagree with it, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, and I can understand where some people could get that. Now, H and Brandon have spoken. This is going to be a long thing, guys. I just want to know, Gabriel Jesus, Tommy, PK, and Ben, is it a thumbs up or thumbs down for you guys? Just because we spent a lot of time on this, and I just got to keep it moving. Are you too concerned about the wages that he'll be earning, about 200K per week?
Not concerned one bit. He's coming from a winning team in a system that Arteta wants to play. He's a winner. There's two players I am really excited. I hope we get this season, and that's him and Zinchenko. Them two players will elevate our team a lot. And £200,000 a week, of course, it's too much. £100,000 a week is too much. But it won't be £200,000 flat rate. It'll be £200,000 with bonuses. When we get quoted all these things, they're with bonuses. If he'll get £200,000 a week, if he scores so many goals, he gets so many appearances, and we get Champions League. That's what it'll be. And so what is on £200,000 a week? He will score next season at Arsenal with the service that we got. If he gets into the same positions that Lacazette got into this season, he'll score more goals. He'll score 15, 20 goals. Guaranteed. Yeah. I bet you.
Let me just go to PK.
He's a top player. And the only reason he doesn't get into the Man City side is because they rotate. And it was said yesterday on the Vibes, and I think it was Dabs that said it, why does City play him when they play against Liverpool? Why is he always on the team? If he was that rubbish, you wouldn't put him on there. And that's all I can say.
That's true. Yo, PK, what are you saying?
I ain't got a problem with the wages, to be honest. 200K. If you look around the big clubs and you look at the 200K, if you look at Man United, Chelsea, and all this, 200K is not. It's a bit much, but it's not that much. Like 300K, you can get a bit slight worry. 200K is like standard nowadays, to be honest. Standards. If you check bare players, that's on 100. I think overall, I would say probably we should give him at least maybe 150 or 170 around there, like including bonuses. But if he's gonna come, you have to kind of. If you're a big club, you have to be willing to pay wages. Because if I'm a player, even if I've got ambitions and aims, I still want to be getting paid good to get.
Yeah. So, just to let you know, over 60% of the people in the chat right now are saying he's worth 60 million. I honestly don't even know if we should be worried too much about how much he's worth. It's just if he comes in, can we get his money's worth of what he's
right? I don't get why we have an issue paying £50 million for a striker that's won the Premier League 4 times. He's a Premier League winning.
His price is not the issue. His wages is what we're talking about.
Listen, it was always going to be expected. If you're at Man City earning 100 grand a week and you want to go to Arsenal playing in Europa League, it was always going to make sense. We're going to overpay for his wages because, I see 200K a week or 180 a week from him. I don't see an issue with that. I think he's going to be playing most of the games, and his level of output is so good. I think it is worth taking a hit. Thomas Partey, he's on 200K a week as well. I think him and Jesus are the only ones at this club who deserve to be earning 200K a week because they've proven what they can do. They're winners. They've won trophies, and I believe it is a good deal.
Okay. Moving on. Tommy, final one. Yes or no? What are you saying?
You know what? I'm not really bothered about his wages. I just want him. I don't really care about, but I just want him. Obviously, I want him. He's a quality player, but obviously he needs to be clinical because he's missed a lot of sitters from Man City when De Bruyne has been obviously creating for him, and he's missed a few sitters, and I don't want that again. But he needs to be clinical. But hopefully he will do well next season, and hopefully he'll get 15, 20 goals. But I don't know about that, but hopefully he can, and we can get another striker as well. But yeah, I don't really give a shit about his wages, to be honest, bro.
Okay. Big up Tommy and H for coming on. I'm just going to reduce the panel to just the rest of the guys with the cameras on. But thank you for coming on, H. Thank you for coming on, Tommy, like always. Okay.
See ya, man.
Big up. Yo, H, you there?
Yeah, I'm there, bro. Nice one.
Yo, peace out, my brother. All right, peace out, Tommy.
See ya, man.
Let's go straight into the final two topics of the day. One of them is you know what, I'll save that one for last. Let's go into Scamacca. The rumor is Arsenal have had a bid rejected for Scamacca, and they've set a £50 million £50 million is what they want for the player. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't know how much I believe this story at this moment in time. We know about Italian players, they don't tend to leave Italy, and especially when you're highly touted by other Italian teams, you tend to go to Juventus or AC or Inter. That's what ends up happening. But £50 million, I don't know if Arsenal is going to spend £50 million on Scamacca after we buy Jesus also. But hey, these rumors are coming back every single day. Do you believe these rumors? Do you think there's some truth behind the Scamacca story? What are we saying, people?
No.
Let me know in the chat. Do you believe it? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Fake news, real news. Let me know what you think. For me,
it's Italian media, bro. Italian media always uses the Arsenal theme to further players' careers. You know, we saw this with Rahovic, we saw this with Locatelli. I think it's bullshit.
I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. This person saying I watched him yesterday, he's not worth 50 million. I'm not saying he's not worth 50 million. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's going to make the move to the Premier League. Italian players don't really move out. How many Italian players do you guys know to play in the Premier League in your whole lifetime?
Jorginho.
Can you name 5?
Jorginho, Zola.
That's it.
Emerson. That's it. I can only name Di Canio. That's it. Who else can you name? It's literally it's so difficult to name realistic Italian players who've come over. They never come to it from Italy.
Balotelli's all, but it's rare. It's true.
Oh yeah. So we're on 4. Okay, here somebody said Jorginho, Zola, Emerson. Who's that?
Barini,
and Daniel. Okay, so that's 5.
Balotelli.
So that's 6. Jorginho, Zola, Emerson,
Ravanelli.
Di Matteo, Di Canio. You know what? Yeah. This guy's saying Bastoni. Bastoni hasn't come yet. Spurs fans. Yo, what are you doing, PK? Is that your sweater? Yeah, I'm gonna just remove him for a second. It's tripping me out. Go ahead, Ben. What are you saying? Do you think there's any truth behind this story?
I don't know on this one. I can't say I know much about him. I might have gone and checked him out on FIFA, but that obviously doesn't mean much, does it? But no, I don't really know him. I think if it's true, I think that means that we're not going to go get someone like Gnabry. And that's one of the reasons why I don't think we get Gnabry, because I think if you get him, then you've got Jesus who plays on the wing as well, and then you've got 3 strikers and somebody who plays on the wing. That's why. But I don't think he'll come. He's Italian. You know, say they get a nosebleed as soon as they come out of Italy, don't they? They don't like it. So yeah, I don't think we're going to get him.
Isn't Kulusevski Swedish or something like that?
I don't think he's Italian, is he? But he's
Swedish. Swedish.
Yeah, Swedish.
Okay. Guys, I just want to get a thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you think this is going to happen? I think it's not going to happen. I don't think there's any truth behind this rumor. I think this is one of those stories that it is a PR move to benefit the agent and the player. I don't think it's actually an Arsenal transfer. But hey, I'm going to give it to Brendan and PK. What are you saying?
We know all about PR at Arsenal. So yeah, no. To be honest with you, I couldn't care less, mate, because sort of like what Ben was just saying, I've not seen the guy play. Like it's been a random name that's been plucked out of the air. I could see why he'd be linked with Arsenal, because he's a kind of striker that would offer something different to us. He's 6'5", and I do think we need that kind of striker. I think, you know, if we was to sign Gabriel Jesus, for example, I think him and Eddie Nketiah are very similar. So I think in terms of like attributes and that, obviously Gabriel Jesus is miles better than Eddie Nketiah, but in terms of attributes, I think they're very similar. So for me, I think we do need a striker that can offer that something different. So I could see why he'd be linked with Arsenal, but I think it's all PR and rubbish, mate, to be honest with you.
Okay, next one in real news, fake news. So that was fake news. Everyone's saying fake news.
Yeah,
Everyone's-
well, I've just seen something from Italian sources now that says that we've made for Simeone's son for 12 million.
What? Okay, let's just forget about that, bro.
Giovanni Simeone.
Forget about that. Forget about that. Ignore that. Let's go to Raheem Sterling. If you guys can see here, Raheem Sterling may be running down his contract and is picking a club for next season. Valuation around 60 million. City are rumored that they want to sell him. Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea are all interested. Sterling has ambitions to still play across the continent. So my question to you guys is Raheem Sterling to Arsenal. Rumor. What do you guys
I'd rather
think?
Gnabry. I'd
Would
rather
you,
Gnabry.
would you turn down an opportunity to sign get Raheem Sterling? Is that what we're saying right now?
It
No.
depends.
I think
I'd
Raheem
love
Sterling-
him. I'd love him, but he's not coming.
Yeah, I don't think
listen.
I don't think he's coming, but I think he's definitely a good player. Like I would take him. 60 million. I think it's fake news. Definitely no. I don't think it's fake news. I think it's real news. Hear me out. I think it's real news that we're linked to him. I think it's real news that he could be available for 60 million. But similar to Gnabry, I don't think we actually are in for him. That's what I'm saying. But yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I reckon we should go for Gnabry 100%, but like it just seems from fan base, innit? We're just making up for it. But Gnabry first, and then I wouldn't mind Sterling. He's not even my type of kind of player, but he's actually a world-class winger. If you check what he's been doing in the Premier League in the last 5 years, he's been incredible. Like those kind of players. If Arsenal can get those kind of players, Zinchenko, Sterling, Gundogan, listen, we take what we need. Take it. Like we're not where we are at the moment. So if any of those kind of players, even though he's not my type of kind of winger, I still respect. You know those kind of wingers that they're not really your type, but you still respect and appreciate what they do. So 100% I'll take Sterling. Like he'll elevate our game. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, like Eden Hazard. He's not my type, but I respect him. Anyway, what about you, Brandon? What are you saying? Man City reject FC.
Yeah, exactly that. Nah, not for me. Not for me. I think again, I'd say if Raheem Sterling was to come to Arsenal, he'd be coming for the wrong reasons. I think he quite easily go somewhere else, somewhere with Champions League football, definitely. So for me, you know, if he was to come to Arsenal, he'd be demanding hell amount of money as well. And yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Raheem Sterling personally. I know he gets goals and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's the way he runs or what it is. I'm just not a massive fan of him.
Okay, Samuel, are you here? Like you're here, but you're doing something. What's up?
Nah, what I'm gonna say about it depends on Sterling. Right? If we can get Gnabry, I'll take Gnabry all day over him because Gnabry, I think he's not only interested in his paycheck, he plays for the shirt, he plays for the badge, so he's a player he cares about Arsenal. So Sterling, if opportunity came, I would take him, but it all depends on Gnabry.
Okay, and then the final thing of the day, Ben, what are you saying? Just before we move on.
I would take Sterling all day long. He's a fantastic player. He is one of the most. I think he's a very underrated player as well. I think he's one of England's best players. He performs every time when he puts an England shirt on. And so what, he is on a lot of money. He probably deserve it. And I think he's the sort of player that wants to score goals. He's a greedy player that wants to score goals. I think he'd be brilliant, but he's not going to come. So there's no point. I think he goes to I think Spurs or Chelsea will probably all go and get him. Or I think Man City will just keep him because I don't know why they'd get rid of him. I wouldn't get rid of him at all.
Okay,
I think he's brilliant.
I'm just gonna move the conversation away. We're linked to Brighton midfielder Bissouma, and Arsenal have been linked to him for a long, long time. But the rumor has it that Monaco have launched a bid to sign Brighton's midfielder Bissouma, and that they will be looking to get him in as a replacement for Tchouaméni. Now, Arsenal are not in for Tchouaméni. Arsenal should be in for Bissouma because he's a budget version of those type of midfielders that we would be looking at, and he would be a really good option instead with him and Partey. But the problem is Arsenal have not really looked at him, and now it looks like we are going to possibly lose him out to Monaco. Is this a big blow, or is this just like, you know what, the club were never really interested, so we have to move past the fact that the fan base and I personally would sign him?
We were never interested that much.
I thought we was interested in the summer last year or something a bit, but or he was just doing stunting on his Instagram.
You know
Yeah,
what?
but-
Bissouma is very similar to the Gnabry situation and very similar to. Do you remember a couple of years ago we were always linked to certain players that the fan base liked, but I can't think of any other players right now. But like I know we were linked to Bissouma based on the fan base. Who else is there? I know we were linked to Nzonzi.
And Zonzi, Higuain, Benzema, we used to be in the Draxler, used to be so much, man. People used
There's
to.
so many of them. Bissouma joins that bracket of like the guy we're linked to every summer.
But we should be going after this kind of midfielder. Like, hopefully, I don't know about his case, but I don't know what his case is, but we should kind of wait on that. Then if he busts his case, we should definitely go in for this kind of player. This kind of midfielder we need: Partey, Bissouma, Tielemans. Like, for me, my two optional two players will be midfielders. Will be like two midfielders. Will be Bissouma and Tielemans for me. If we want to upgrade and get the Champions League and win Europa, because I'm tired of being in Europa. We need to win that this season. This is the final chance. Like, literally, if we don't win Europa, then I don't know, man. Like, for me, the manager has to get sacked, and if you don't get tougher as well. So
we'll get there when we get there, PK. Right now, it's
yeah,
long
sorry,
way.
yeah, off topic anyway.
Long way.
But we should go for him, man. That's the kind of midfielder we need. He's athletic. He can dribble. He can have a shot as well. Have you seen him have a shot? He can score a couple of goals as well. He can add more to our midfield, man. He's got legs for days.
Yeah. What are you saying, Brendan? Missed opportunity.
100%. More questions need to be asked of the football club. I agree with everything that PK just said there. Bissouma and Tielemans would be my midfield two that I would be bringing in the summer, regardless of his court case, to be honest with you. Because at the end of the day, right, we're 2 laps a day out of our squad and our team. Midfield is arguably our weakest point. We need to be strengthening in the midfield more than anywhere else. And Bissouma, he screams out that kind of player that we need in that midfield that we're lacking. That strong, he's good on the ball. He wouldn't cost you an arm and a leg either. He plays for Brighton at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? He'd want to come to Arsenal as well. He's not going to be one of these players who's coming for the money, as I'd like to say. He'd be one who will be making a step up in his career. And it's absolutely criminal that Arsenal are not in for this player. It really is.
Okay. And you know what? We're just before we wrap it up, guys, let me know, everybody here, Ben, Samuel, Brendan, and PK, if Arsenal were to sign one midfielder this window, who would you want Arsenal to go sign? Because we're linked to Tielemans, we're linked to Zinchenko, we're linked to all these guys, but who's your one that you would take over all of them?
Should I go first?
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
we're not this guy, but Nunes was sporting, bro. This guy is a baller, bro. Like, he's gonna be a special talent.
Be realistic, because he's going to City.
Right. I'm really with him, though. His technicality is just so great. I think we need him.
Who? Nunes?
Tielemans.
Okay. What about you, Brandon?
One.
Yeah, you can say Ruben Neves if you want, or something like that. We just have to be linked to them. It can't be somebody we're not linked to.
Like I just said, it can't be him.
I don't know. It's so tough to choose between Tielemans and Bissouma.
Why not Zinchenko?
Zinchenko, for me, if he was to come to Arsenal, it'd be more of a left back cover, or fighting for a place at left back with Kieran Tierney. I don't think he'd be midfield for me.
You see, Zinchenko, yeah, I would have left back for me. It would be left back. But even if let's say we sign Zinchenko and Tielemans, then I don't mind. Like, sometimes he can still fight for midfield as well if he's good enough at that time, innit? So, but for me, Zinchenko should be left back, and we should go after him as well.
Okay, Ben.
Well, there's 2 midfielders. One that we're not linked to, I'd go for Ward-Prowse, if I could. But I want Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko, I don't care whether he's a left back or... Have you seen for Scotland? I know it was only Scotland. You seen for Scotland? You go watch his games that he plays in midfield for his country. He's brilliant. He's so technically brilliant. And the only reason he don't get in the City side is because of who's there. He's playing left back because of who they've got. He's a brilliant footballer, and he's coming from a winning team. I think he's got leadership skills. I think he'd be brilliant, and he's actually. I think originally he's a cam, isn't he? He's actually an attacking midfielder. So we could do with another attacking midfielder. That if Odegaard gets injured or he's tired, and I think he'd be brilliant.
Let me just stop you guys there. This is a ridiculous take from you, Tommy. I'm sorry, bro. He said Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Guendouzi, Saliba, Mari, and Torreira all need to come back as well. What? First of all, Torreira's gone. Mari's gone. Saliba's coming back. Guendouzi's already been sold. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles is going to go somewhere. He's not going to come back to Arsenal. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I thought that was a wild take. Why would you want Torreira and Mari back? I'm confused. Out of all the
man.
Like at least there's a case for Saliba, Guendouzi, and even Maitland-Niles. But Torreira and Mari, what's the case for them to come back?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Big up everybody. Big up everybody who's been watching today. If you guys already don't know, we the topics that we discussed were Saliba's decision, of course, Guendouzi. Why did I say Guendouzi? Guendouzi's in my brain. I mean Gabriel Jesus. We spoke about Zinchenko, we spoke about Gnabry, we spoke about Scamacca, we spoke about Bissouma. So yeah, you guys have yourselves a good day. And everybody knows in the chat, do me a favor, hit that like button. We got over 230 of you guys in the chat. And you know what? We got 93 likes. Come on, 7 more likes right now. 7 more likes right now. 6 more likes right now, and we can get to 100 and the video is over. But you guys already know what it is. Just to let you know, the chat has said 60% of the chat has said yes. Gabriel Jesus is worth 200K per week. So, and you know how many people voted, bro? Over 300 people have voted, and they said yes, Gabriel Jesus is worth 300K per week. So, Brandon, I hope that gives you an answer.
Okay.
That gives you an answer, right?
Yeah. If that's what the Arsenal fans think, then that's fair enough. We'll see next season. If he comes in, we'll see next season, won't we?
Definitely will. Anyways, PK, Brandon, Samuel, Ben, H, and Tommy, thank you for coming on. This has been another episode of EGTV, and we're going to be back with Vibes from the 6 tonight at 10 p.m. So you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace.